here. So I chose my theme, which is basketball, and I also thought it would be fun to coordinate it with the Falcon. So these were sketches that I worked on. Thinking about what side I want my basketball to be. Do I want an angle? Do I want it coming from the front? Do I want to add flames? I started looking at researching basketball players, and I looked at just simple silhouettes, like outline shapes, and of them in air, making a basket. And I thought about it'd be fun to do like the net, having somebody making a shot. So when you take your cup, we're going to start with our cup, and it's three-dimensional, so we have to think about how we're going to use it, and we can utilize all the parts of the cup. So you can do the tops, the bottoms. When you're cutting with your blade, you want to make sure to go slow. If you go too fast, the material can tear. So when you start cutting, you're just going to start slicing and moving. You can also cut from an angle and move it around. So you want to be as gentle as possible. Like I said, if you go too fast, it's going to tear, and it's going to give you like a different effect. If your blade is dull, that can also contribute to it, so I might need to give you a new blade if you're having too much difficulty. But like this could be used as a ring. On my basketball trophy, I actually split one of these in half because I wanted to build height, and I was actually going to add more rings, and I was going to show that to you today. So this is actually a combination of what I have for my example so far. This is a combination of 2 cups. So I remember you have about 3 that you can use. So to like get this tall shape here that I use to hold my basket, I actually cut out a window here and then cut out another frame out of that to get that rectangle shape. And then I cut off the bottom of it, and I sliced an area here so I could have that secure. And I wanted to show you a trick too that I thought was helpful. So once you get your sketch done and you figure out how you want it to look, you can actually take your sketch and you can line it up on your cup, or you can cut a piece off, and you can take your blade and you can gently poke around the edge of your sketch, and that will transfer it to your cup so that you can have basically like you're using it as a stencil, and it help you guide where you need to cut off that shape. And that's how I got, and I have it here on the phone. Hopefully you can see it better, but if it's a little light off, I took a picture of it. You can kind of see at the angle. Maybe it's too hard to see. You can see the dots. So that's where I poked through around my stencil onto the cup. So then I just cut around that shape, and that's how I got my player. Okay? So that's another easy way if you want to do a theme. And you can also add texture. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see. On the basketball, I added texture to my ball. And when you're cutting, like if you have angles that are difficult, move your pieces around. Like this wasn't attached, but like I had to make multiple cuts to get these angles. So like I did a little V here, and then I used my X-Acto blade to pop it off. Then to get the other side, I had to turn it around all the way and make the V on that side. So it's not all one complete flush cut. If you accidentally break a piece while you're working, don't panic, it's okay. As you can see, here there was a break, and I can show you how to repair it. And I'll upload that example onto Classroom. But I wanted to show you today real quickly. And see, that's how you can make multiple shapes out of it. So when I cut the goal for my basketball for the hoop, I actually had the full piece of my cup here like this, and so I just made smaller pieces. So see how you get multiple pieces out of one side. Okay? And I made my basketball out of the bottom of my cup. And it's another smaller piece. So you can get lots of different shapes. So I started making flames, and I was going to show you how to do the glue portion. Once you start, because today you're going to be cutting, and then once you're ready to start putting in flames, I wanted to put flames on the inside of my falcon trophy. And so I was going to build, I had the smaller piece from my cup that I was going to anchor here, and then I was going to attach the flames around it. I also thought about maybe adding this top part here, which I think is probably better, and then I can add my flames around that. Okay, so you're going to be using what's called rubber cement. It smells kind of intense because it has the mineral spirits in it, but it's very difficult. It's not like regular glue. It's very difficult to put the pieces together if you don't use it properly. So you want to make sure you get all of the excess off of the brush. And before you start gluing, you need to know where exactly you're going to be placing the glue. And you just need a light coat. All right, so if I'm going to do, I told you I had my idea. I wanted to put my flames in the middle. So I have to make sure and figure out, okay, that's where I want my piece. I'm going to have the 4 edges of my frame for my flames line up there. So I want to paint a light coat. And if it's dripping off the sides, just push it down with your brush. I'm going to paint a light coat of that paint, of the glue, excuse me. And I'm going to set that aside because I want it to dry. And then where I want my glue to come in contact, because I practiced already, I'm going to then put a light coat of paint, of the glue paint, where I want my frame to be. And then I want to make sure that I close my glue and tightly, because if I leave it open, this will all dry solid. We don't want that. Another trick for your pieces to dry fast. You don't need to blow on them, just shake it. Letting the air dry your piece, both pieces. And then when you're ready, when the glue is dry, then you can attach your piece. And it's going to make it real secure. Look at that. It's not moving. It's dry. Okay? So now I have the frame for my flames that I can start adding. So I want to start adding flames to my piece, to my design, my idea. Okay? And you just keep building, keep experimenting. Like I said, the goal was to use 2 to 3 cups. If some of you are, being very adventurous, and I love that. If you want more cups, I will give you more cups. So don't feel like that has to limit you. And I'm going to try and show you what happens if you don't wait till the glue dries. See, it doesn't stick. So you want to make sure it's dry first, and then it should completely attach for you. Okay? You can add multiple layers if you want, like smaller flame, bigger flames. I was thinking about for my basketball player, putting a number on his jersey, or putting a VH for Van Horn. Try not to drip glue onto your piece like I just did because it's a different color. So wipe it off. It's not a big deal. Get a little bit on there, but the goal is to try and avoid that so we have the best possible craftsmanship. And it melted it a little bit, but we'll be alright. I'll add a detail to it. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Alrighty. So we just need to make sure, once you finish your sketch,